Hello and welcome to Motors for the Masses. Now, Neco, the Belgian scooter company that have their bikes built in China, have broken into the motorbike market. So let's roll the intro and get cracking. Styled to look like the Kiwi RKF or the Zontis ZTU or even the KTM Duke, they are offering this, the Neco NC-N01. You would be forgiven for thinking, oh, that's a Zongshen engine like you find in the Sinis terrain, because it is. Being a single-cylinder, liquid-cooled, fuel-injected, double overhead cam, 4-valve engine with a balance shaft for smoother sound and feel. It uses a 6-speed gearbox and has a reported 14.75 brake horsepower and a top speed of 62 miles an hour plus. Now, I have been told that the rep from Belgium has one of these and he's had 68 miles an hour out of his, and his engine isn't even run in yet. So who knows, depending on the rider weight, the road conditions, etc, etc, you may even get 65 to 70, but don't hold me to that. 60 plus is a safe way that most manufacturers are going these days, so people don't complain if they don't hit the expected figures. It apparently has a 3-way catalytic converter, which is nice, which basically means in this tree-cuddling society we live in today, it loves the environment a lot. You get upside-down forks on the front and a monoshock on the rear. The brake discs are apparently not from a circular saw, despite their looks. But at least they're meaty, with a 260mm front disc and a 220mm rear disc. And of course, using the combined braking system that a lot of 125s have these days. On initial inspection, it actually looks pretty nice. I do like the way it's designed. It's a very pretty looking bike. Steel swing arm, not the alloy one that they put in the advertising bump. Steel trellised frame, I do like that. I'm very pleased, it's actually pretty great that it doesn't have that rear wheel hugging number plate bracket that many manufacturers seem to go for these days, and a much cleaner look with this style here and not that style there. Some like it, most don't. However, it's not without its ugly bits. One of them being this. Now, despite the fact that it's got an LED DRL around it, it's got a conventional bulb in there. Now, that is a positive and a negative. The negative is it looks a bit weird. You've got this sort of dim looking bulb in there, which is actually bright enough, but it just looks weird against the LED DRL. And the positive side of that is that when you come to change the bulb, it's like a £3 bulb change rather than a 50 quid LED unit change. So it does have its plus points. Onto the elephant in the room, being the shape. Now, it looks kind of like one of those women from the African Mercy tribe, you know, the ones that put the plate in the bottom lip, sort of like that. What do you think? Not a fan. From the front it looks all right, but from the side it's a bit... Or was it just me? 17-inch wheels, front and rear, with Yuanxing tyres, 110 on the front, 130 on the rear. Which brings me to the other thing I'm not really a fan of. The type of tyre it is makes it look thinner than a 130. Not a fan. I like a chunky tyre. But Jamie says that I'm obsessed with chunky tyres, which is probably why I went for the MV Agusta Dragster, because it's got a 200 back tyre, so he might have a point there. Yeah, it's just me. Sorry, ignore what I said, it's fine, it's lovely. Sorry about the wind noise there, but can't be helped. Although I did notice it seems to be less windy up here and slightly more windy down here. Wonder why that is. The wind skips across the floor there. Oh no, that's science. Don't do science. And there is something else I don't like. Now, this has been a bugbear for me for quite a while, and I've moaned about it quite a lot, and that is mild steel exhausts. There is no need for it. It's skimping where skimping doesn't need to happen. I'm sure for an extra 60 quid maybe, it'll cost to put in a stainless steel exhaust. That is a much better option, rather than this mild steel thing. Now, they are okay as long as you look after them, but it just, stainless steel sounds better, and it certainly looks better, and it certainly lasts longer. So please, manufacturers, spend the extra 60 quid, put £100 on the price of the bike, and put a stainless steel exhaust on. And that goes across the board. So many manufacturers do it, and it's really annoying. Dimensions are all very normal, 2 meters long, 830 millimeters wide, 1.1 meters tall, with a seat height of 815 millimeters. I am 5'10.5" with a 31.5-inch inside leg, and I can easily touch the floor with both feet very comfortably. There you go. I'll talk about price in a little while, but for now, let's get it out on the road and see what it rides like.
Right, so here we go, out on the test ride. Now, bearing in mind, this bike has done no miles. Let's see how it fares. I have to run it in gently. Initial thoughts: great visibility out the mirrors, nice seating position, comfortable, sounds okay, moves well enough, brand new tyres, obviously it's a dry road. Yeah, very responsive. I like that. You've got a gear indicator on here, which is nice. 6 gears, as I said. Flashing petrol light, that's good. There is petrol in it. 40 miles an hour in 6th gear at 6,000 RPM. Red line's at 10. Initial thoughts, very comfortable. Seat feels nice. It's not digging in my back in any way. Gear change is lovely and smooth. Yeah, quite like it actually. Again, the brakes have not bed in yet, and the engine is not running yet. So we need to be quite gentle. For me, I think the rear brake lever can be adjusted down a touch, but again, that's just to individual taste. Now, I have to say, it doesn't feel like it has a lot of power at the moment, but that is because it's a brand new engine. Very tight, and I'm taking it gingerly, I'm not thrashing it. Now, there is one thing that I will say about this bike that frustrates me, let me put it that way. The side stand switch is as such that you can't start the bike with the side switch down, the side stand down. I hate that on a bike that doesn't have a centre stand, which means you've got to sit on it to start it, which means you've got to sit there in the morning and wait for it to idle whilst it warms up a little bit. Okay, it's only a minute maybe, and in that time you can put your helmet on and put your gloves on, I guess, but even so, it's just ridiculous. I understand, like every bike, put it in first gear, it cuts out if the side stands down. But not if it's in neutral. I mean, come on, that's just Euro 5 nonsense. At its worst, that is. But I like the way it feels. Takes the corners very easily. a lot of confidence in how it takes the corners. It dips in nicely. It feels smooth. Gear change is very light. As I say, great visibility out of the mirrors. I've got about 90 to 95% visibility. No qualms with that whatsoever. It's a lovely day. Summer seems to be here now. It's got easy wafts. It wafts the corners. That's what it does. It's a corner wafter. Once this engine loosens up, I can see that it will do a decent amount of speed. As I say, I mean, I'm sitting at 40 in 6th gear, and it's very nice. It doesn't feel uncomfortable in any way whatsoever. The handlebars seem a good length away to be comfortable. Obviously they're slightly adjustable, you can turn them that way and that way, but it feels just right. The seat feels very nice. I've got no issues about worrying about whether it's going to numb my arse by the end of the journey. Suspension, it's okay. Tiny bit jolty, but it seems to absorb the bumps quite well. The exhaust note is okay. It's a 125. You don't really get much from a 125 other than if you've got a V-twin or something like that. Switch gears are easy to use. They don't feel cheap. I mean, they are generic, like a lot of them, but they don't feel cheap. As you can hear in my voice as I'm going over the bumps, it's a little bit jolty, like this one here. But it feels as though it does absorb it. Yeah, I'm just invisible, you bell end. It does seem to absorb it quite well. So that's quite pleasing. As I say, it dips into the corners easily. No worries there. So if you're on the telephone whilst you're riding, you may get a little bit of in your voice, but it's not uncomfortable. Brakes are very good, even though they say they haven't bed in yet. They do feel very responsive, pretty sharp. I'm quite liking this. There's a little run around. Seems ideal. I'm sorry if there's a squeak, but this is the helmet I've got on. This is my X-Lite helmet, my X803 RS, which is a carbon fibre helmet. They're not cheap, but they're also very comfortable, very light, superb for the track, and easy to use. But I get a little bit of squeak from the headliner or the pads. So I'm just going to take it up a little bit. I'm not going to take it up to its full max. In 6th gear. I'm at 50. And it's creeping up to 60, which I'm quite pleased with. As I say, it's a bike that hasn't been running yet. That is absolutely fine. Yes, that's pleasing. So once it's run in, it'll definitely do more than 60. And I am 16.5 stone. So with my weight on, that'll be absolutely fine. Just turning around here to avoid the horses. You can already feel that it's loosening up a little bit. I'm not thrashing in every gear. don't need to do a speed test now, so I'll just keep it eased at 50 miles an hour. And that is absolutely fine and dandy.
So then, a quick sum up. Well, the bike is very comfortable. It rides nicely, the engine sounds good, the exhaust note is okay, the gear change is smooth, the levers are absolutely fine, everything is as it should be, like a lot of 125s are these days. Liquid cooled engine, sounds good. As I say, it feels nice and smooth. I've got nothing really I don't like about it apart from that side stand thing. Just annoys me. I mean, I would disconnect that personally, but you know, that's just me. Other than that, it rides as it should. And as I said, once it's run in, this will do 60 without an issue and beyond. I couldn't say obviously what the top speed is, but I would say, I would have a guess, it would be more than 65 and verging on 70, no problem at all. Price-wise, well, the bike is £3,099 on the road with a 2-year parts and labour warranty, so that's 3099. That's very good value in today's climate. And I think looks-wise, it looks fantastic. And they do it in 2 colours, this grey with this lime yellow accents, or black with the orange accents. Both colours, very nice. Grey is very popular these days, so, you know. And what do you think? If you're interested, please let me know in the comment section below. If you do want this bike, you can pop along to Lightning Storm Motorcycles and get one from there. And that brings me to the end of this episode of Motors for the Masses. Thank you very much for joining me. I'll be back next time with the new CF Moto CLX 700 or 700 CLX Sport version. So yes, stay tuned for that. We'll go on a nice ride for that one and we'll do a review on that as well. And then after that, we've got some other stuff coming. So stay tuned for that as well. We've got a new scooter coming from Zontis, the Zontis 310 scooter. So stay tuned for that also. And that's all I have to say. Please like, subscribe and share, and don't forget to pop along and have a look at our other videos as well. And maybe I'll see you during the summer at some event. If not, ride carefully and enjoy yourself. Messed that up, didn't I? So all remains for me to say is, until next time, please ride and drive carefully, but have fun much better. See you later. Bye-bye.